We didn't do it for the recognition. It's because we still feel an innate part of us that is always driven to serve our country.
We're out there and sacrificing just like we would when we were in the military. Just wearing jeans and a t-shirt now.
I never considered myself a hero. I mean, there's plenty of guys that did the same thing that we all did.
I mean, you're just doing your job that you got to do.
I don't think, oh man, I may not see my wife again. I may not see my kids again. I don't think that. I'm gonna see them again.
Somebody's looking out for us that night because we could easily all could have been wiped out.
We're telling a story about real people, not superheroes. We're telling a story about real guys who have flaws, who have real backstories and real lives, who ended up faced with extraordinary circumstances, behaved in extraordinary ways.
I got a chance to meet the guy who I'm playing before I came, and which was a tremendous honor for me.
We've had 3 of the real guys on set. They've been very kind and supportive and very forthcoming with information that can help with the human aspect of the story.
My name's Mark Geist. My call sign's Oz. I was in the Marine Corps for 12 years.
Name's John Tigan, former Marine.
My name's Christian Peranto, and my call sign was Tonto. I was with the 2nd Battalion, 75th Ranger Regiment. I was in Bravo Company.
We always hear about the military and what they do for our country, but there's another element of people that serve after they get out of the military, but they serve in the shadows.
Jack and DB, you know, they also lent guidance to the book and the film, but they just wanted to protect their identities. You know, Jack, he's like a business family guy. There's people that live around him and no idea he was in the SEAL teams. And DB, I'd say he's kind of like me, not really talkative. And he just wanted to continue working. He wanted to continue providing security and doing a lot of those things that the 3 of us won't ever get to do again because our names are out there.
In the modern world, a lot of case officers, CIA agents, are in fact more likely to be college valedictorians than, special forces people. And so they had to create an organization whose job was to protect our clandestine services as they're operating in some of the most dangerous places in the world.
How's the team here?
Good. 3 ex-Marines, 1 ex-Army Ranger.
GRS stands for Global Response Staff. We are the security element for the Central Intelligence Agency, and we just provide protection to case officers, the spies overseas.
We have no jurisdiction in this country. We're not even supposed to be here.
But we are here.
People aren't supposed to know what GRS is, frankly. It gets created in the wake of 9/11. And so for 10 years, nobody outside of a very select number of people had any idea that the GRS existed.
Going into this, I knew nothing about the GRS. And again, that was one of many things that really hooked me. I certainly knew about contractors and military contractors, but these guys are a notch above that.
They drew from the most elite special forces guys and women who they could then bring on as contract security officers.
We have an individual contract with the U.S. government for a specific job. We carry our own insurance. Everything is on our own. We run our own business, basically, as a contractor, as a security contractor.
And the GRS brought them on specifically because they had a prior track record of service to the country and a certain expertise, not just with firearms, but counter-surveillance missions and an understanding of what the counterterrorism threat is out there. They know when the route doesn't look right. They know when there's a kidnapping threat and how to defeat that.
We gotta go.
That is our main bread and butter job, protection. But no earpieces, no guns showing. I mean, it's trying to blend in with the local populace. It's great, and it was a great contract.
The annex, it was home for the time that we're in Benghazi, our safe place, so to speak. Anything bad could happen out there, but we knew we had our place protected pretty well and pretty confident about anything that could come our way.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah, it does.
Actually, this is pretty, the setup's pretty accurate. Even the towers look good.
Yeah.
Are they gonna reconstruct that? Is that what blows up? And wow.
There's Tonto's pool.
Yeah, his hot tub.
Yep.
One thing that you do get to do a lot when you're overseas is you get to work out. And it relieves a lot of, it does. It It makes the trips go by faster. They did good on the gym.
Yeah, they did.
Pretty accurate. Yeah, even the concept rower's the same. And it never worked. And yeah, the treadmill just, had treadmill and it never worked.
I was in Tripoli before, and then my next trip was in Benghazi. And honestly, it's like any other third world country you go to. Electricity's intermittent, so we always have to have generators. There's trash in the streets. There's cars making U-turns in the middle of the I mean, it's crazy. Kids in the streets. The atmosphere, though, was a little different. The atmosphere was it was just, I could never put a finger on it. It was just a shady atmosphere.
Say, where are we going?
We're going right now. This is to Charlie, Building Charlie. That's where the skiff was, and Chief of Base lived, our team leader lived, and some of the other GRS guys lived in this one. But this was the brain center of the annex.
I still like those.
Yeah, I like that.
This is actually where all the staffers do their business, and us contractors, we try to stay out of it. And if we're getting caught in here or we're walking around in here, it's just, then you have to make conversation with all the staffers, and I didn't want to do that.
What makes you special operators so special if you can't do what I need when I need it?
Must be Bob's office.
There wouldn't have been a bike in Bob's office.
Bob didn't work out, no way. That's funny. Actually, that makes me laugh.
We have a team leader that's a staff officer. He's an employee, and he's our team leader normally overseas.
The contractors, we always had to double up. The staffers, double and triple up sometimes. See, there was one time where I stayed in an area and there was 4 of us in a room, and then the staffers all get their own room, which, whatever. It is what it is.
So this would be Jack's rack, and mine be back over there. Got the curtain divider.
This is what privacy you had. That's it.
But you guys never use that anyways.
Hey, what happens in Benghazi stays in Benghazi.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it, that like some of these guys don't really know each other. In this case, Tyrone and Jack Silva, they'd known each other for about 12 years. They started contracting together. I mean, this was actually, I believe, their first contract together. They used to leapfrog. They kind of high-five at the airport. One would come in and replace the other one.
I hadn't worked with any of the guys other than DB before. I'd worked with Tonto in training, but that was it.
A lot of the SEALs stick together, and the Rangers stick together, and the Marines stick together. But when they get into GRS, they're all in it together.
We got 3 ex-Marines here and 1 ex-Army retard that likes to rub his dick on things.
This would have been our team room. Got to run this. What this is here is this. It just basically has our ops for the day. And honestly, this is really nice. In Benghazi, when we were working there, we wouldn't have had this much time ahead of time. They never told us what the heck we were doing. So I wish it would have been this nice.
With anything, you're going to have different personalities and different types of people. Now, can you work together? You know, I mean, I think that's the question.
They talk about how they have 2 families. They have the families back home. All of them are family men back home. They have wives and kids, but they also have the family of the GRS team.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I had pictures of my family up and some other pictures.
Tonto needs more sexy girl pictures in here.
Oh, what is Tigger 50 Shades of Grey?
You'd mess up, they'd put something in there, just kind of screw with you, and I don't know if I want to say what other people do. Stuff in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's...
Everybody really clicked well together. You didn't always have that with all the teams that you might work with in different places around the world.
Call of Duty and Halo, that's basically all we played. When we have tactical training, we'd go on the radio and we'd go, tactical training time, and that means everybody come and play Call of Duty together.
Except for we had wireless controllers for the Xbox. You don't really get to pick where you go. They just kind of assign you to certain places where they need you at the time.
We do rotations to different countries. You know, you'll do 60 to 90-day rotations. 75 days usually the max.
We extended to stay and help the ambassador's trip. So that's pretty cool that it actually is up there, and it shows that we weren't even supposed to be in country when all that happened. So
that just shows that we got along very well and we were very tight.
I just happened to be on my fourth trip in Libya, and 30 days in Benghazi when 9/11 happened. We could see the glow of the buildings being set on fire from here.
Some of those Connex boxes, that's about the distance. If it was a straight line distance, that's how far it was away. It wasn't that far. And you could see the tracers, you could hear the explosion. That's why when we walked out the door, you could tell that they were getting crushed.
They were hired to play defense, and suddenly they got called on to play offense, to go to a mission that they were not hired for.
Jack, watch our 6!
They're not supposed to be protecting the State Department folks and the ambassador. That's not their job.
But we were gonna do that anyways.
All right, we got 2 guys down there, still in there.
I'm not leaving without him.
If they're Americans and they're in trouble, then we needed to go get them.
We had to go, no matter what. Damn the consequences that would happen to us if we did or didn't. And as contractors, one of the consequences is because our insurance covers us for a specific job, and that was to protect case officers. Had any of the guys got injured or killed over there, from an insurance standpoint, they may not have covered their injuries because it's not part of your scope of duty. That wasn't a concern of anybody's.
But to see them come in and not have but 6 guys there, and that size of that facility, and they'd already been hit by an IED once. The British ambassador had been attacked recently right in that area, and he was hit pretty hard. He had an RPG come back through the back of his vehicle, and his security officer on the passenger side actually was hit. And our medic, our doc that was there at the time, our PA, actually saved his arm. Damn, I forgot I was going with that. I started having flashbacks, seriously.
It just kind of takes you back to where, where people were standing, what was going on that night. It was a little difficult, but definitely takes you back.
CIA! Hey! Easy, Forrest Gump. Anybody else in there? Anybody else in there? No.
Okay. Cutting there, reset. Reset.
I'm breaking shit and he's happy.
So awesome.
We gotta shoot it 10 times. He doesn't realize that's not a good thing.
Having the real guys on set was really important for us. I think to have them see what we were doing and approve of it was really exciting.
Yeah, right.
I broke the door, okay? What do you want me to do?
That's awesome.
I'm kicking the shit.
That's how you do it.
You never really know how these things turn out until the end, so to get a little check-in from these guys and say that this was working in the way that they would want to see it was the best fuel to keep going.
It adds a level of authenticity that is really irreplaceable.
3, 2, 1, and action.
Open the door, I'm gonna fucking blow it open!
Enzo!
CIA!
Ooh, that's a good one.
You have to ask them, is this strange that, you're sitting here with people wearing the clothes you wore and, going down the streets you were in this combat with? And yeah, it is strange. It's strange for them, it's strange for us, but the same token, it's a huge honor to be telling their story, and they're super cool about it and super excited that we are telling this story.
I want the world to know these guys. What are their sacrifices? What do they give up? We could not have done this without their input.
It's really interesting to watch the process. Just for me, it's neat to watch how it happens and how the actors work and how Michael works and directs people into seeing the vision that he sees. They're doing a great job of keeping it as accurate as possible within the time constraints that you have.
Ready, and action, guys.
It's a new experience. It's just another chapter. People have asked, is it surreal? No, not really. It's just something new. I can say, you know what, I've been able to do a lot of things in my life. Been very lucky. And this is just another thing I've been able to experience.
Are you filming? Making a movie right now. Making a movie. Unbelievable.
The actors have really taken on the personas of the actual guys, and you can kind of feel the camaraderie even between takes.
It's all about
That's not a still camera, guys.
It isn't.
So what's happening here? Why are we posing?
You can read about the events themselves, but there's an emotional connection that you get having looked in the guy's eyes and heard the accounts directly from them. Instead of information, you're getting a lot more of the experience.
I was shooting, and then my eye went dry, so I kind of knelt down behind the wall, changed mags, and as I'm coming back up, that's when, right as I start coming back up shooting, that's when the first mortar hit the roof.
You get a sense of how one could ever deal with such intense things in the moment. And so I think that was really the most important thing that I got.
Michael and the whole team did an amazing job finding people who capture an essential element or their essence. You see Pablo walking around, and you're like, that's Tonto. He's in Tonto mode. He's spitting off Tontoisms.
Hey, so when are you gonna invite us over for skinny dipping? What? Serious question.
We're identical. Aside from him being 6'5" and I'm 5'10", our attitudes and our demeanor, he's a smartass just like me, and we get along great, and we've actually become very good friends.
Who am I? You're Bluray?
No, you're my fucking prop master, bro. To meet the real guy was a little bit humbling and a wonderful experience. And then at the same time, you know, it was just fun.
Tontoism number 136. The Tonto don't puke.
Tonto don't puke. Did you get that right? The Tonto don't puke.
Tonto don't puke.
Tonto is one of a kind. He's got no shortage of energy, no shortage of ego.
Actually, this is probably more a Tonto-style pool here. Disgusting, dirty, probably disease-laden. No, Tonto's not disease-laden. No, I'm not, I swear.
But you sort of strip away the outer Tonto. This guy's an Army Ranger. He's Ranger to the bone. He's a guy who is ready for anything. He signs his emails, RLTW, Rangers Lead the Way. And that's how Tonto lives his life.
We had a lot of conversations about Ranger School, about what his service was like, his military service, and then afterwards in GRS, a lot of his experiences in country, what the dynamic was like between the GRS guys and the CIA staffers, which is a crucial point in our story. And then what the experiences of that night and the effect they had on him, the effect that they still have on him today.
And I remember Ty, he had his machine gun, and as soon as that first mortar's first explosion hit, he just lit up. I asked for air support at 9:37. I asked for it again at midnight, and I asked for it again at 2. We needed the air support. Mortars can be shot from 2 miles away, a mile, 2 miles away. I don't think it was that far. I think it was probably a mile, maybe, but. We had such a small force, there was no way we could defend that. So, yeah, it is what it is. What are you gonna do? Shit happens, this war. Shit happens, people die, and politicians lie about it when it's over. Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Hey, man. Are we on camera? We're not on camera yet.
Yeah. What? Am I interrupting?
None of us could believe the actual physical resemblance between Mark Geist and Max Martini.
I think he's my doppelganger, my long-lost brother.
There was one shot in the movie where Max is supposed to be sitting next to me in the car, and instead we put the real Oz in the car.
Are you ready for the bait and switch? I forgot to talk to wardrobe about the clothes, but
no one knew they rolled. We got an actual whole take out of it. And it wasn't until the end that anybody knew it wasn't Max. I don't know how good that is for Max's career, because Oz can just take over his career at any time.
Get into my shot.
No kidding. Get out of there.
This is the first time that I've actually played somebody that's living, and I think all of us collectively don't want to make a mockery of this Benghazi attack, so there's a lot of pressure on everyone to get it right.
This is Building C, where the mortars hit on the roof with Roan.
Oz, I'm coming!
The first mortar would have hit the top of the wall right here, and that, because Dave Ubben was in this corner, and that sprayed him with shrapnel in his face. Then the first mortar that hit the roof was about right here and blew a hole kind of out of the wall and out of this overhang.
He's so open, and he's given me so much information, not only specifics in terms of what happened on the night of the attack, but also just emotionally what he was going through and physically what he felt.
He was really worried about wanting to get right is when I got injured and what that felt like from the best as I could recall. But when it hit, you know, your adrenaline's running, you don't feel the pain because you're just worried about making sure that you take care of business that you got to take care of. The biggest injury was my arm. A piece of shrapnel went through, took out 2 inches of the bone, 2 inches of nerve, and kind of broke the other bone, and it was just kind of hanging off at a 90-degree angle and flopping around. The worst part of it was the tourniquet. Since then, I've had total, I think I counted, was almost 14 surgeries. I still have shrapnel that comes out every now and then. I'll be taking a shower, and all of a sudden, you'll hear a piece of metal hit like the tile, and you reach down, and it'll be a small piece of metal or something that just come out.
and the mortars hit like over by the wall. They came through me to get him.
Me and Tig probably spent a good portion of that evening together, either fighting out of one corner or another, and you know, he was the first one up on the top of the roof without any thought for his own safety and what could happen, because he knew that guys were hurt and injured up there.
Tig is a guy who takes in every detail. He's a guy who's like a lizard on a rock. He's got everything is in his sight, and then when he moves like lightning.
It's you and Ron coming in from the airport again. It's fucking bullshit.
Tig is played by Dominic Famusa, a guy with really tremendous acting credits, great physical presence, and we just felt he really captured who John Tigan was.
The little button, the little bipods would fall, but I never used it.
You know what, though? This thing is loose, so to make sure it doesn't wiggle, how about I'm doing this?
Oh, that's fine.
Does that look okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Tig and Dominic, I think they look a lot more alike than you'd actually think, and then in spirit, they're very similar guys. And I think that Dom was very committed to getting to know everything he could about Tig and getting to know Tig as well as he could. And they really had a fantastic bond, and watching them on set together was pretty great.
Exactly. My glasses.
You good?
He fought so hard to get glasses. And then he got him, then he was like, oh, fuck, I gotta wear these all night now.
You said you wore them all night, right?
Yeah.
It was really great having the real Tig here. He's just a great guy. I love to hang out with him. It's kind of strange to be looking at him because he seems so normal, but to know what he went through and how he performed under pressure like that, I can't imagine. And it's been invaluable. I was shooting a scene the other night where I had to shoot what we call 40 Mike, a grenade launcher. And Tig was 20 feet to my left, standing with the director and everybody else. And I simply walked over and I talked to him about the moment. I said, how did you do it? What did it look like? And then I went back, hit my mark, and did it exactly how he told me to do it. And then I go over and I said, how did it look? He's watching on the monitor. He's like, you got it, man. I mean, just to have that opportunity is so rare. That's a real treat.
I think one of the things I've had the most fun with on this movie is being with those guys. I think the camaraderie is something very unique because these guys in real life had a really great bond. And I think it was really important for us to all have that genuine and organic bond.
Ambassador Chris Stevens is coming over from Tripoli Monday morning.
Well, you'll be home.
Not anymore.
Seeing the guys get along and acting together, and it reminds me of being overseas with the guys. And it does hurt a little bit because I miss it. I do miss it. I miss it a lot. It's kind of cool to see it recreated and to see the same camaraderie between the guys.
I know who I am. I'm just a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
I'm glad they're able to pull it off. I don't know how you do it after a short amount of time like that, but they're able to pull it off, which is going to make the movie that much better and make that much stronger, because I think you'll see the bond that we had for each other overseas, and they're going to be able to portray that on film. That's very important.
They're like brothers, you know? They go at each other a little bit.
You know, I do have a gun in my cubby, and I will use it.
There's disagreements, there's arguments, there's all of that stuff. But at the end of the day, I think every one of them would lay their life down, obviously, for the other one, and that's the kind of bond that gets created in that line of work.
Any other 6 guys? I don't think we make it. I think we were meant to be together last night.
That's a big deal. That's how we got through that night, is the caring and the love. Alpha male, I don't talk like that. The love for each other really is. But
how's the real estate business?
Pretty bad.
How bad is that?
I'm here, aren't I?
contractors, they make a good living, but they also, it's a lot more sacrifice. You're leaving a lot more.
You know, the girls don't need a treehouse, Jack. They need you. I just hope that one day you're not gonna wake up and realize you missed the best part of life.
It's difficult on relationships, and it's hard. You don't get that demobilization when you come back. When you get off the plane, you're off and you're going home, and it's difficult because you don't get that decompressed time.
I did a couple more trips. I did 2 more trips after Benghazi.
All of us, except for Oz, because of his injuries, continue to deploy. We continue to work for the agency.
After Benghazi and after having gone through the injuries and everything, we as a team decided that we want to bring to light issues that need to be addressed. And so Shadow Warriors Project is a nonprofit that me and my wife started because it doesn't always happen the way we think it should, and there's no support for the family of the contractor, and there's limited support for the contractor. So now you have a guy that's injured and fighting to save his life and rehabilitation, and there's no support element there. He's now taken away from the guys that he serves with and the like-minded people. He doesn't have that support, and what we want to do is be able to provide that either through a network of people that support Shadow Warriors, if it's just people that are out there that are civilians that want to help, or it's other contractors that live in that area. We now have the ability to build a communication network so everybody can understand what is going on, that needs to understand and help each other out.
3,500 contractors have died since 2001. In 2013, more contractors were killed than U.S. military personnel, so, you know, people don't really hear about it. We need help, you know, sometimes. You know, we get home after, you know, we're done working, we don't get paid. You know, you don't get any medical benefits.
If you're serving your country and you get injured or killed, your family shouldn't have to worry about whether or not they're going to be able to pay their bills at the end of the month. And those are issues that need to be addressed through either a heroes bill, through Shadow Warriors, and through mutual support among ourselves.
To me, I think the entire movie really comes down to the true definition of heroism. I think that, you know, you hope to teach your kids to do what's right in all circumstances, and it's really hard to do that. And the fact that these men made the decision to do what was right, no matter what the cost, is something that I immediately connected to and am so proud to be a part of.
You know, coming back here and seeing all this is, especially seeing the mortars, where the mortars hit and seeing how accurate it is, looking in that direction there, it brings back a lot of, honestly, a lot of bad memories, but a lot of good memories of the guys and the guys that sacrificed the time, Glenn especially, that gave everything. So I just hope that this can get some closure for me once this whole project is over. But I don't know. Again, I don't want to get emotional, so just really hurts. That's it.